Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. A drone strike on a bus carrying a youth football team from Belarus has sparked fears that the country could be drawn into the Russia-Ukraine war, according to Metro Godbod UK. The coach, which was carrying 88 people from the Reshetsa Youth Sports School, was attacked on Wednesday while traveling to a holiday camp in Russia. The football coach's wife was killed in the blast and 8 others, including 6 young players, were injured. The president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, has demanded a thorough investigation, warning that any provocation trying to drag Belarus into the war will end badly. Russia has launched a terror investigation, pointing the blame at Kyiv, while Ukraine has vehemently denied any involvement, describing the accusation as a Kremlin-led provocation. Analysts suggest the strike could be a calculated political move intended to worsen relations between Minsk and Kyiv, potentially benefiting Moscow. UK defense experts highlight that Vladimir Putin has been actively pressuring Lukashenko to commit his military forces to the conflict, as Belarus continues to build up military infrastructure along its northern border with Ukraine. According to reports from NHK, the Chinese government has announced that one of its ships recently completed a 3-day marine environmental survey in the waters east of Taiwan. The Chinese Ministry of Natural Resources stated that the operation was intended to study ecological conditions within areas they claim are under their jurisdiction. This move marks a continuation of China's recent efforts to assert control over these waters, including increased patrols by its Coast Guard and Transport Ministry vessels since early June. Beijing has indicated that these actions are intended as countermeasures against ongoing negotiations between Japan and the Philippines regarding a maritime boundary that encompasses this area. While China's official announcement regarding the survey did not explicitly detail the Japan-Philippines discussions, the broader context suggests a strategic escalation in the region. In response to these developments, the administration in Taiwan, led by the Democratic Progressive Party, has formally criticized China's maritime activities as illegal and a violation of its sovereignty. According to GG Press, the United Arab Emirates, UAE, cabinet has approved a ban on social media usage for children under the age of 15. As countries worldwide increasingly introduce age limits for social media, the UAE's decision marks the first such implementation in the Middle East. The regulation applies to all social media platforms operating within the country, strictly prohibiting anyone under 15 from creating or operating accounts. Furthermore, for adolescents aged 15 and 16, the law mandates strict protective measures. These platforms must implement content filters and restrict communications with unapproved accounts or strangers to ensure youth safety. According to a UPI report, Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has left open the possibility of deploying the Self-Defense Forces, SDF, to the Strait of Hormuz following a recent agreement between the United States and Iran to end hostilities. Speaking at a press conference during the G7 summit in France, Takaichi emphasized that no official decision has been made yet. She noted that Japan must thoroughly evaluate the details of the U.S.-Iran agreement and monitor the regional security situation before committing to any maritime mission. The Strait of Hormuz is a vital energy shipping route for Japan, which depends heavily on Middle Eastern crude oil. Post-conflict hazards, such as naval mines, could pose significant threats to commercial shipping. While Article 9 of Japan's pacifist constitution severely limits the use of military force, clearing mines after a formal ceasefire is generally permitted under Japan's Self-Defense Forces Act. Takaichi assured that any potential Japanese involvement would strictly adhere to constitutional limits while focusing on securing freedom of navigation and supporting regional diplomatic and reconstruction efforts. According to Al Jazeera, federal police in Brazil have executed 18 search and seizure warrants in a widening corruption investigation involving the liquidated lender Banco Master. Among the targets was Senator Jacques Wagner, a key congressional ally of President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. The Supreme Court authorized the warrant to investigate allegations that Wagner received millions of dollars, private plane access, and an apartment from Banco Master owner Daniel Vorcaro, who was arrested in March for fraud and money laundering. In return, Wagner allegedly promoted a constitutional amendment to benefit the bank. Wagner has strongly denied any wrongdoing, and President Lula has expressed confidence in him. The scandal has also reached the right-wing opposition. Leaked messages allegedly show Senator Flavio Bolsonaro, son of imprisoned former President Jair Bolsonaro, seeking sponsorship from Vorcaro for a film about his father's life. Flavio Bolsonaro, who was a leading contender in the October presidential race against Lula, denied any misconduct. Crime and corruption are expected to be pivotal issues in the upcoming election, where recent polls indicate Lula may be leading his right-wing rival. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.